All right, so today we will be going over how to use the Cardano minting script repo from Logical Mechanism, which will be located in the description of the YouTube file. The first thing we're going to do is clone this repo so we can actually use it inside the terminal right now. So inside I made this folder, it's called lessons. And I'm going to use a git clone. I'm going to copy and paste the URL to our repo, and it should clone it into a new directory called Cardano minting scripts. And I think it did. All right, we can change the directory into the Cardano minting scripts, and we can view how to use this repo by inspecting the readme file. And I'll just pass in this little less command so we can only go a little bit. And what we actually want to do is initially we want to create a Minter wallet. This will create a base address as well as the payment keys and the QR code that we can use for mobile devices. And we can get this wallet by running the bash create wallet command. This should create a folder and then all the wallet keys inside of it. So we can easily do it by just running bash create wallet.
Nice.
All right, and what we got here is our extremely long staking address here, but what's really important is going ls into Minter and seeing that we have the base address and a QR code in case you're running it. And we could check this out by going into our VS Code right here and seeing that we actually have a fully functional minting QR code, which is really nice if you like to use
That QR code relates to the address we just saw in the command line.
Yes, if you actually were to take a picture of this, it will produce this address, which is the Shelley staking address for the minting wallet.
Nice.
In case you want to stake your minting wallet, you know.
Never
All right,
know.
so yeah, you never know. We will be needing the minting base address because we will eventually need to send some funds into this wallet so we actually can mint it. But before we jump into that, we should set up our policy script. Now, in this specific situation, we are going to be using a previously made policy script, but I want to go over the create policy script file. All this is going to do is create your pair of signing and verification keys for the policy, and then auto create a policy script file that allows for minting and burning at any time. This file can be used to be added and updated for multi-sig or changing the type of minting and burning times. And then also it creates the policy ID file, which we will need later. This is just like the create wallet. All you have to do is just run this file with bash and it will create a policy script for you, which is also explained inside the README as well within the create a Genesis policy script section.
Nice.
But we want specifically an A maker space. Yeah, policy ADM, that's what we want. So I'm going to do a cursive copy for the folder of the policy ADM. And we're going to put it into this folder, but I want to call it policy ADM, which I believe will copy into a folder called that.
And the reason we're using the same policy for ADM is because we have the same conditions for the contributor coin as ADM.
Yeah, this policy allows minting and burning forever, which is perfect for this case that we're trying to do with the eventual contribution tokens. But yeah, we can expect the policy scripts to show what we mean about allowing minting forever. Let's see, so we can go into our VS Code now and realize that it needs to be refreshed. And so we have a really simple script file, which is our publicly available key hash. And we have a type signature, and we have all signatures that have this key hash are allowed to use this script, which of course are correspond to these verification and signing keys. And then we have a nice custom policy ID for A1EEB5. That's our ADM script. So we have a policy script, we have our minting script, and I believe we want to change this to just policy right now, and I'll show you why later. It'll make a lot more sense. We need to set up the metadata for this right now, which this looks very familiar from our previous videos, but luckily I think we already have the version of the metadata we want to use.
Yeah.
I think you sent that to me, so let me put that. Do you see it? Oh no, right here. Contribution token, Bson3.
Yep.
There we go. All right. Let's make some changes. As we can tell from our policy ID goes here, we need our policy folder. Go into our policy ID. Let's control copy our policy ID in here. A to make a space contributor coin. Is that too long? That's 28. The maximum is 32, so that will work. We need to get our IPFS hash so we can reference the image, which we can do real quick. That's the easy thing. And I think everything else is pre-made, so it's ready to go. There are no spelling errors. It's all good.
I have a question. So I saved the contributor coin image in 2 different sizes. What are your thoughts on file size around images for NFTs?
It kind of depends, because what are you trying to view it from? Because in some of the examples I have from my own personal collection, I realized they don't look good small. They look busy, but upon closer inspection of larger sizes, they look really nice. So there is a size limit where maybe larger sizes look better because of how a resolution will end up.
What was the file size of the ones you just shared of yours? The
I want to say that
unique
was
art,
200.
the unique block art.
That is a great question.
And the reason I'm asking is because the 1000 by 1000 pix contributor coin image was a little over a megabyte, and the 500 by 500 pix image was 300 and something K. And I just think about this from a loading perspective on the front end of future applications. Does that come into effect, or how does
this image right now that I have on my screen is block 78, and this is 480 by 480 pixels, and it's about 500 kilobytes.
Gotcha.
I think I like the size. It's not so big that it takes forever to load, but it is a decent size, and this one's a pretty cool one.
Let me send you the 500 by 500, so that way we use a smaller loading image instead of 1 megabyte.
I'm gonna make an image folder in here so we can run this eventual, where is it in my readme? We're gonna run this curl command so we can use leverage blockfrost to load our image into it. Okay, that's perfect. I'm gonna put it into a directory called image.
And I just sent it to you.
Let's download this.
For your GitHub repo, it works best to have all your resources in the same folder as where you clone the repo, correct?
Yeah, I found it to be easier just doing that. You're going to save yourself on trying to basically make really long paths to random image files. You can have it where it's referencing some other file, but this just makes it easy because it's the image folder is inside your folder already, and it's just right there, easy to
Makes
do.
sense.
One thing we do need is the IPFS
The block
API.
frost.
Yes, which I actually have an additional file, so I'm just going to open up yours, and hopefully no one stole it yet, so it's fine. And then this one. But this, how I wrote it here in this file is exactly what you want to do. You just replace this with your BlockFrost API key, specifically the IPFS key, and then we're going to link to the folder, which is in this case the image folder right here with our contributor coin, and it will give us back the hash, and then we're confirm the hash that it actually works, and we should have a fully functioning IPFS image. Let's see here. This is an image. Yes. But before I actually run this, I'm going to make sure I know how to spell that. There we go. So now let's run this command, because I want to say inside this folder, inside the image folder, there's something called ADA Makerspace Contributor Coin. And this should be exactly what we want to do. We are adding to the IPFS. Here's our project ID. And we should get back an error. I wonder why I did that.
Invalid project token.
It doesn't like the spaces I had on it. I don't know if you caught that. The X and the file option as well
gotcha.
as
I see now.
the send option was a little different. So this is our hash. This is very seems like a good response. There's the name. Here's our IPFS hash, our image size, which is appropriate. Let's go back to VS Code inside. This is, I'm putting everything inside this temporary file, and then I'll just copy and paste it over.
Yep.
Let's test out our IPFS hash to make sure this is actually functioning. That's functioning. Do you like that? That's working. All right. This is perfect. So we're gonna go here. We have that set up. You got your policy ID. You got your ADA Makerspace contributor coin. Everything's spelled correctly. All right. Now let's update our create token script before we fund anything. This script is set up for two things. It allows you to mint NFTs or fungible tokens or non-fungible tokens. If you're doing non-fungible tokens, you may want to be using a series of non-fungible tokens to be created, like contributor token 1, 2, or 3. We're not doing this in this case. This is a currency. So we actually want to use this line, which is say make 1 million, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Make 1 million policy ID, which is this, the 4A1EE, dotted into the asset name, which we will get from this right here. You can just copy and paste all of this in here. And so it will mint 1 million policy IDs of the ADA Makerspace contributor coin. And
but wait. At this time, we only actually want to mint 2021 for the prize pool contributor faucet.
That is a great catch.
1 million is the max that will ever be minted.
Which is verifiable via any type of Cardano Explorer as well.
Yeah.
So Minter, get the base address. Right here is why I changed the policy name. I'm all we're doing is saying return the value of the policy ID from the policy folder. And this can be, you can have multiple policy folders for
Yep.
whatever type of token you want. And I'm just visually looking through to make sure I have everything correct here. And I think I designed it where this should work perfectly. Out of a habit, I usually comment this out just in case I did something wrong. I could check out the minting transaction before I minted it.
So by commenting out that last part, you're just keeping it from doing the final transaction. It's running everything but the transaction.
Yes, it will not do
Submit.
anything. It won't submit. It will make everything inside this folder called transaction, and then it will save all the files. It's like a dry run
Yep.
to make sure that we didn't accidentally put something incorrectly, because I have done that before, and that's not fun. You don't want to do that. One thing that we will need to do, because I'll tell you right now, this will fail because it will try to get a UTXO of an account with no UTXOs. So this is a great time to send over 3 ADA. I did the calculation on this actually. It's like 2 point something ADA. But I've been typically
Let me know which if you Telegram or chat me the thing, I'll send.
That should be it. And I can go inside our terminal right here, and we can actually run a bash check balance. And we can see that there is no UTXOs in the account right now. And we're, yeah, about
What'd you
5.
say? Send 3?
Yeah,
5?
send 3 or 5. It's something around there.
I'm gonna send 5. That way we're for sure.
Yeah, it's all good.
Pending. It's on the way.
Pending. Now, since you're doing it through Daedalus, so as soon as that says sent, I should technically have it.
And it's confirmed.
Boom, and there it is. The beauties are running full nodes. So we have our funds, we have our scripts created. We can actually right here run create token. Now this won't actually create the tokens because we commented out the live portion, but what it will do, it will allow us to inspect the minting string, so make sure we spelled everything correctly, we're correctly incrementing things, checking that we have enough funds for the fees, things like that. And see if it gives you an error. Oh, because I changed the update. I forgot about that. The old versions allowed you to put the minting file not at the draft. So we can go into our draft here. This file goes into this now. And I believe we need it here as well. That was a change that happened in the last version. I think I updated this before they made the update. So now, oh, it's not called script file. It's called minting script file. Do you see that? That's that switch right here.
Gotcha.
That's just a.
Will you reflect those changes in the GitHub, or is that something someone will need to do also?
So I'm gonna make this assuming everyone's gonna be using the newest version. That's from the old version. So if you were using Daedalus, which I believe is still using 1.25, maybe that's updated by now. I don't know. By the time this movie comes out, maybe it has updated. The old version that Daedalus was using had you put the script file in the signing, so you signed with the script file itself.
Gotcha.
Where the new version say, no, when you're building the transaction, you're putting all the scripts that you want inside the transaction being built. And then you sign it with just the keys, which I guess makes a little bit more of logical sense about like, well, why are you using, where does the transaction go? You should only sign it with the keys and not the script file making the transaction.
Gotcha.
But yeah, I think that was just switching between old ones.
So that was that. What we were talking about is an issue of what version of the node you're running.
Yeah, so if you old Datalist had you put this function where you actually sign the transaction, it had you put the script file in the transaction sign, where I want to say 1.26.2 of the Cardano node changed that, where instead of signing with the script file, you built the transaction with the script file.
Gotcha.
And I think that is just from a 1.25 to 1.26 change.
Gotcha.
And I think it's a change for the Alonzo stuff that's coming out. But you can see here, though, we are good to go. There's no errors, and we are building out 2021 of the contribution coins. And I think that looks perfect.
Looking good, looking good.
All right, let's make this live. Oop. Transaction successful. So let's see if our transaction has gone through with bash check balance. And we are still pending, so I think we got about like 20 seconds or so. Usually it's pretty fast.
Sometimes we're pretty impatient.
Sometimes. I have noticed though, I've sent transactions out and it's almost like instantaneous. And it's really like where you are in when the block went out. As I just spam this over and over again. So we can go like this. And now, let's go here. Let's do it. So as that is going through, we will want to send these out. Hey, there we go.
There we go.
All right, so we have our leftover Lovelace, and then we have our newly minted fungible tokens. Technically, these are fungible. So we want to send these out now. We want to send them to, I'm going to assume.
Hold on. I want to send them back to the main ADA Makerspace wallet.
Yeah, because we'll fix it out later with the.
Yeah, and then we'll send them to the prize pool wallet after that.
Yeah, that's fine. That's perfect. So I'm gonna do a little copy and pasting
Or
right here.
Not the prize pool, the faucet wallet. I meant.
Yeah, I knew what you meant. I'm gonna just kind of update all of this so these both make sense. We want to make 2021. We are minting, we're just signing, and then we are good to go. So this script will send every single ADA, or it will send all the Lovelace and all the tokens to some additional wallet. This is convenient because it makes sure you're not going to forget any dust left over. That will require some additional transaction. So there's a file that I made just called receiver.addr or address. You copy and paste it when I am going to confirm the existence of this address. So I'm not sending it to some random address because that's
a good idea.
And I'm going to say, oh yeah, that's totally us. Lab access pass right there. All right, so we're pretty much ready to go. We are going to send it to this receiving address. We're going to send all the funds and tokens with this minting string to this address. And like the other file, I will do the testing and then I'll send it out live just for safety reasons. But this is easy enough to just say send tokens. And we are good to go. Let's make it live. And we have official tokens in the ADA Makerspace wallet. And it's just like that. And we can confirm the transaction just like before with the check balance function. And it's about to go through. So imagine, see if I can get an update on the blocks. That's when it'll change.
It's coming in.
That's it. That's good to go.
Yeah.
All right. And then you have the official contributor tokens in your wallet, and we have everything set up. So if we ever wanted to mint some more, we can just come back here, put money into this account, run the create tokens with some new amount, send the tokens out, and you're pretty much good to go. And we should be able to see these on Pool PM right now, actually, because they're fairly up to speed with. There we go.
Look at that.
So that's cool.
Oh, that's awesome, dude.
It's official. That's the contribution tokens. It's like Wild Westy too. I like it. All right. And I think right there we have a pretty much almost everything besides making your policy script custom by cloning this repo, sending ADA out, and minting your own tokens with a relay. You can also use Daedalus. And I think that must have been a couple minutes and we already minted tokens. Super easy.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. What a powerful repo you created.
Thank you. Yeah, after that, I think we're good to go.
So we learned something from the experiment that we just did with minting under the same policy. And what you're looking at right now is the address, the UTXO that we sent the recently minted contributor coins to. One of the things you'll notice, though, is that you don't see them in our wallet right now. And the reason for that is because we minted them under the ADM policy. You actually have to now go to that, click on that token in the Pool PM to see that. So we're going to now burn the tokens that we just created and create a new policy and mint the contributor coins under them to avoid this kind of visual confusion. This may not be necessary for tokens that you're doing depending on how you plan to use them or display them, but just for usability, visibility effects, we're going to go ahead and create a new policy so that way contributor coins image will show up here under the individual ad. I'll let you go ahead and take over screen share now.
There we go. So we have our 8 megaspace contributor token. We want to send the tokens back into the minting wallet, and with enough ADA so we can do the actual burning transaction as well as mint the new tokens on a new policy script, which we will create. So the first thing is let's just check the balance and see what's going on here. So we got to, let's send the tokens over, and while that's happening, we can go over the destroy tokens.
And it was the same address before, correct? That was in Telegram that you used?
Yes, and I think, yes, the one right above the 8 megaspace wall and one.
Yep, gotcha, thank you.
So that will work out great. Similar to minting a token, burning a token is anti-minting. And so the actual transaction that you're going to be made is essentially creating a UTXO without the minting policy, without the minting string on it, such that it will be burned. And that's just what the implied effect is, actually. And then after that, we will create a new policy script in folder, and we can go through that whole process, and maybe we can have some fun with it and create a fun new policy ID. So let's see where we're at. Come on, I'm live.
It's pending.
So let's see what's going to happen with this. I haven't burned a token in a while.
Still pending. So long, it's still pending though.
You got like randomly selected the worst time or something.
Maybe the contributor coin weighs a lot.
It's hard to move around.
All right, it's confirmed.
All right, there we go. And so I got my policy ID. We got 6,000. So we can run the bash destroy token. It's similar to when we were minting it. I'm going to turn off the live just in case something needs to get fixed and we just got to make some changes. So let's go with this. And everything seems to work out. We're just going to get back about 5.8 ADA in this, which would be more than enough to mint the new policy, so that's fine. And let's see what happens when you run it live. Command row error because, oh, whoopsies. There needs to be a minus sign in there.
Yeah, that would help, huh?
That would probably help. There you go. Yeah, because this actually makes a lot of sense on this error, because what it's saying is you can burn and mint thing all you want, but the plus and minus of the total amount in all transactions must be equal on the inputs and the outputs. And you can see here for 4042 is just doubling.
Yeah, that didn't really.
That doesn't really help. So let's see here when we check the balance. And we got our Lovelace back. All right, so let's create the new policy token. And I'm going to comment this out just so we don't accidentally destroy anything. We will be doing this. I'm going to delete this actual entire policy folder, and we're just going to start brand new. And we already have a copy of this inside the Aider makerspace, as well as you and I, so we don't need to worry about losing it. But you know what? Just for safety, let's do that. All right, so let's make a new policy script and see what we get. So we can run a bash create policy. And what we have here is refresh. And we're now going to be
Now we got a fresh policy ID.
Yep, we're 3B3A. So if you wanted, which also we need to take this and update our metadata information because we have to repeat this again.
Yep.
So we go like this. So that is the same ID as that. Our policy script is similar to our ADM. We're going to allow burning and minting in the future in case we need to add more contribution tokens for new events. And we're pretty much good to go.
What about on the create tokens? Oh yeah, that's just calling the policy folder. That's right. So that's okay.
Yeah, so this is actually a nice way to generalize it. Then you don't have to do too much copying and pasting, but it should work. I just want to make sure that we're doing, and this hash should 100% still the same. There's no reason to do this. Perfect. Also, we could go into pool PM, and it should technically show the burn on this as well, I believe.
I don't know if it shows.
Oh
yeah, there it is. Shows the destroyed tokens. Nice.
Yep. So it did destroy it. Perfect. So you know it's not in existence anymore. And then also we can go like this and see if it updated on your stake key. Yep.
Nice.
The coins are gone forever. All right. So we are pretty much good to go right now. Similar to before, just so we can not make any errors, we're going to do a little test run. So let's check the balance.
Just shows the power of these this GitHub of scripts that you created, though, how fast it is to, you know, do these
Mint and
minting,
burn.
burning transactions and not have to retype all the command line out every single time.
It's pretty close to being fully automated. You know, it's always good to double check things too, just to make sure. So I'm going to say that that is the correct policy ID. We are good to go. I say let's mint it and see what happens.
Yeehaw.
All right. Did we get lucky? Nah, we're going to keep it going. All right. So comment that out, and it's a great time to update the send tokens, which I actually think we don't even need to update at all because we already have all these correct names. So we can just
Yeah,
send
we
these
want to
out
send
right
them
away.
to the same address that we sent to before.
So we don't have to update that either. We have our new contribution tokens. And let's send them out. So inside your Daedalus wallet, we will be getting the contribution tokens with a new policy ID such that it's visually unique. And we should also see it right there on PoolPM.
Minted, baby.
It's done. It's official.
Beautiful.
3B3A. All right. So now we can go back to, oh, do I have it? No, your Daedalus wallet staking. Where's it at?
And I've received them.
Is this mine or yours? Here we go. Yep. Now it's a unique coin that's in there.
Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you.
Absolutely. So that's nice. We got the destroy tokens and the create policy script in there. So now I think it's almost every file except for the send ADA, which is if you burned a token and you wanted to get the ADA back out of the wallet that you're just minting, you can use that one.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Nice work. Thank you very much.
Thank you.